is I'll ask you, how do you feel like your training schedule is right now for the goals that you have? Let's start with that, because you're familiar with what you probably kind of ought to be doing. How is that going right now?
Um, I think it's like going somewhat okay. Even though like I'm playing at some really weird like hours, I'm like playing at a consistent time.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm sleeping even though it was like really bad hours, but like like I will say it was just because it was a holiday, so it's gonna like I mean
Yeah.
the first week of uni just started, so it's gonna
Yeah.
change soon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's less to do with, are you currently where you're at right now? More along the lines of, do you know what you need to do to reach what you want? Because you're aiming pretty high.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, okay. Because obviously, like, if you're playing infrequently, Grandmaster is completely impossible, basically. So, if you know what you're aiming for and you know what you need to do to practice to get there, do you have any questions about practice routine before we move on?
Uh, not really, I think.
Okay. Okay. Um, is it still Sojourn? I know that might have changed since you filled out the form,
It's
primarily.
yeah. I think I just got really tilted. And I just swapped to Tracer, climbed back up to like Masters 3 on my main.
Yeah.
Uh and then that my second account I was playing Sojourn on ended up being a May one trick account,
Interesting.
which
Interesting.
I got to Diamond 1. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Talk me through these swaps. Like, what's going on? Why Sojourn? Why the Tracer swap back? Then why the Sojourn OTP count on May? Like, what's going on here?
Um I don't think there was like a super elaborate reason. I
Sure.
just realized there was like a lot of fun to be had in learning like a new kit essentially, where like the things that you worry about and the play style is like really different. And I feel
Yeah.
like there's just yeah something fun learning for that. Sojourn, I feel like I just stopped because I recognize like the more I play on like an unfamiliar hero in like a low rank, the more like the bad habits get ingrained, and I'm just gonna like be thinking the whole time, why isn't things working? Like I like because like the knowledge gap between like what I know I should be doing versus like my skill is just too large.
Excuse me. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. But I guess why again though, like we're looking at Sojourn, but yet you've talked about like now you're a Tracer OTP account, now you got a May OTP account. So what's going on here? Like, is are we why are we still looking at Sojourn then?
Um, wait, uh, I don't know. I stopped playing Sojourn, so yeah.
Oh, so you're not playing Sojourn anymore?
No more Sojourn.
Oh, okay. So what are we looking at today
Yeah,
then?
sorry, that form is really outdated.
That's fine. That's fine. That's kind of what I was asking. So what's the updated goal for today?
Um, I think the goal is still to hit GM. Um, I I think since the last time I got coach, I think my perspective on like how to play games has changed a lot.
Okay. How so?
So I think I feel like playing like a MOBA for like 500 hours like does things to your brain where like you're not thinking about um like strictly like well you're less incentivized to think about like matchups and like heroes or um like mechanical mistakes. You're like way more worried about the resource management and like when
Hmm.
and how to push like objectives, like advantages.
Yeah.
Um and like a part of my brain just like defaulted to like think about like macro information, which I think was definitely beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Not initially though, but I sort of like had to learn how to like balance what I learned before and like a new essentially like a new approach to like playing the game.
What are we looking at today? Tracer May or something different?
Um, I have two VODs. I think I would actually be more curious about May because I feel
Sure.
like I know enough about Tracer like to the point where um like I know what the like mistakes I'm looking for are.
I understand. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
With May,
I think
what you talk about like your resource management and your like MOBA esque, how has that impacted how you think about playing May? Because that's an interesting perspective. I think it's really interesting.
Um, I think it's more like who is doing what and what the like timing of something is. I find a lot of the mistakes I make on May are like um I think a lot of it is positioning, but also with like how I think about like sort of being proactive about dealing with an incoming threat essentially.
Yeah.
Um and I don't think there's like a strict principle I could apply from like a MOBA onto May, but like essentially like you're playing the game rather than like playing the fight. Is like maybe one way to put it.
Sure. Are there any examples of you doing that in this code?
Wait. So wait, I need to send a code first actually.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um, I think. Sorry, I think I'm I'm so focused on the mistakes I made in that game. I think. Oh, I actually lost that game. Yeah, I did lose that game. I'm like so focused on mistakes I made. It's hard to exactly think of it, but um, essentially, I'm just looking for. I guess like I guess like green lights for like important parts of the team fight, or like creative ways to like use my wall. But I don't. Yeah, I don't know if that like links well with like how you play a MOBA. Because I mean, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it's still like a hero shooter.
If you want the most MOBA-esque aspect of Overwatch, which I actually think is a really, really, really important fundamental, it's the lane fundamental, where in Deadlock, for example, you basically treat every 1v2 as a I need to kind of hold this space as much as I can without actually forcing an engagement. You see what I'm saying? So it's like whenever you have information that you're 1v2ing a lane, your goal is not to win that 1v2. Your goal is to stall. You see what I'm saying? um, to
Yeah,
do so at a point in time to where like your team clearly has a resource advantage elsewhere. And so if you force that initiation, if you force the duel at a disadvantage, you're a moron. You're allowing them to leverage their advantage right away. And so the way that
yeah,
works with Overwatch is that we have a very similar lane theory, not quite as many lanes, but usually it's around three. Well-designed maps are going to have around three lanes. So what you do is you go, I'm going to take this lane. I'm going to take the 1v1. Oh no, it's a 2v1. I need to live this lane, or it's a 1v2 for my advantage. So we need to push this lane. We need to win this resource advantage and then deepen. And that just applies to all DPS, right? Now, the big difference I've found, I don't know how this works in League, so I won't speak on League, but the big difference I've noticed in between Deadlock and Overwatch is that the lane difference is a little bit harsher in Overwatch. Now, I know Deadlock had a lot of events that would happen, drops, loot, stuff like that, things that were relevant for the different lanes. But a lot of ways, there wasn't, at least on a surface level, as much geometric differentiation that would tell you this is the lane that I need to hold. And you can probably see where I'm going with this. On a map like this, there's going to be lanes that are going to feel better with me, and there's going to be lanes that feel worse just because of the way that the map is structured. You kind of get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I think the two things that you have to do that are MOBA-esque with Overwatch is what lane do I want given the character that I'm playing. Obviously, there's a lot of nuance there. Mei is not a strictly short or long range character. It's really kind of compositionally dependent, like what you're playing into. But then also you have to immediately recognize what sort of a 1v2, 2v1, 1v1 situation that you're in and what are your resources looking like. So in Overwatch compared to Deadlock, there's a lot more things to manage. Like there's a lot more resources to manage. With Overwatch, there's much fewer resources to manage. However, the status of the lane can change instantly and will often change instantly. You get what I'm saying? So a 1v1 will turn into a 2v1, will turn into a 3v1, will turn into a 4v1 within seconds, and then go back to a 1v1 again. And so your ability to kind of read the flow of where is the enemy team's attention, and so then therefore how should I respond is really important. I'm going to do a little bit of a self plug here, and I'm going to stream something for you other than gameplay. Because it's actually really funny that we're looking at Mei today, because I just I don't know if you're familiar with Backbone, the guy from Overwatch League back in the day. I think
yeah,
he's the best Mei player of all time, hands down, not even close. and
Oh, interesting.
he was on stream the other day hanging out with me, and he was like, "Oh, you should play May." And I'm like, "Man, I haven't played May in ages." He's like, "Oh, just go play May," because May is actually one of my better mechanical characters. I climbed the Masters 2 with May at one point way back in the day. Anyway, let me change my stream here, so you can see this, because the situation that we're describing, a very MOBA-esque situation, happened, and I want to share it with you. Let me
Yeah.
get my stream here.
I think I just quickly add that I've been learning a lot of stuff about May essentially from watching like I think Numbers and Rara play. It was
Uh-huh.
a when I hit Master 3 again, for Tracer, I watched like Top Dragon. I don't know if
Yep.
you know the Wizard Hyung like video, but
Yep. Tracer. Yep.
um
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I think a lot of what I was doing was I was trying to learn how to like apply like the key principles essentially, where like
Right.
I'm asking what like the differences in the gameplay, like and I noticed there's like a really big component to the game where um like space and resources are like really really important.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't like I think this is just a Kevza principle, I'm pretty sure, but
It
it's
is.
just
Yeah.
like um if you can't dive the backline easily, there's like actually a lot of value to be had, like denying their dive or like
Yes. Well, it's
just
just
like
the lane principle,
bullying the
right?
right people.
You
Yeah.
take the lane. If you're uncontested, you get backline. If you are contested, you have to do that whole MOBA-esque thing of whether how many resources are being sent this way. So I want you to watch this, and this is going to be like one of the few times I actually plug my gameplay. So you look at the situation right now. There's why am I on this particular lane?
Wait, give me a second. Hold on.
You might
Are
need
you
to click
streaming this?
around. Yeah, you need to click around in Discord for a second to
Oh,
find it.
yeah, my bad.
No, you're
I was
good.
just
You're
looking
good.
at your face.
No, that's fine. So you can already see why I would choose this lane with May, right? Think about the wall opportunity here.
Um,
Think about what map I'm on. Can you see the stream here?
yeah, I can see the stream. So I'm trying to think it through. So the payload is there. I'm guessing the enemy team are there.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably just looking to wall off the backline from the tank.
You're getting too many details involved too soon.
Okay.
I'm not thinking about anything along that front right now. All I'm thinking about is that May is a flexible character that's pretty good in small ranges. There's no Reaper, Torb, whatever that can screw me up in this room. So I'm going to take this congested space and synchronize this pressure with my team. Do you see my tank on the left there? So my team's going main. I control the right angle. Now I could have gone top left, but they had a couple of hit scans that I didn't really want to contest at long ranges. So I'm going to go for this space instead. The other nice thing about May is that she's extremely self-sufficient, so you can go on longer angles if your timing is good because you don't need as much support. You don't have mobility, but this is kind of like one of the catchphrases I like to use. Sustain is mobility because mobility is sustain, right? You have mobility so that you can get in and get out. You have your ice block. It's not quite the same, but if you play your resources right, it's almost as good. So right here, I'm controlling this angle. Notice I'm waiting. I start to peak a little bit once I see my team start to walk, and crucially, Widow pops in for sights. Now, here's your MOBA-esque brain. What do you think the enemy team is going to do when the Widow pops in for sights from main? How are they going to rotate? How are they going to move?
Just go like hard away from main.
Right, which is really bad for me, right? Because where's that attention going to turn?
On you, like
on me, right? Because they're rotating away from main, so they're either going to go up to the truck, which is not my problem, that's not my lane, or they're going to go towards me. I predict they're going to go towards me, and I go, holy crap, there's like 3 or 4 people standing here. I'm in trouble. So how should I move? What's this now becoming? MOBA-esque, right?
You should. I want to say you should be looking to back, but
yeah,
part of my brain just tells me to like ego the.
But see, that's the problem, right? That's where you got to MOBA-esque it a little bit, right? It's not that I can't hit a shot in the BAP. It's the fact that the BAP will have a defensive cooldown, and then if we're equally skilled, he will lamp, he will shift, he'll get resources, and I won't, right? So I would only ego this if I was like a solid 2 ranks better than these guys. So I'm going to give these guys respect because that's how I'm going to rank up, is to give the enemy team respect. So I hit one shot, I hit a headshot, but I'm immediately backing up into the corner, and I'm responding because I'm like, man, I cannot get pushed here. Now, this is really important. I actually think I made a pretty cool play here. Man, this is a lot of patting on the back. I'm not used to giving myself compliments with my own gameplay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm coming up on wall here. How should I wall this? How should I wall this? This is actually pretty tricky.
Wall it like into the doorway,
Yes,
like
yes, yes. So I'm
yeah,
actually
parallel
not that
to
I'm
you.
not that smart, right? Because I'm like I don't want to peek that, right? But you're right. You're right. I should wall into the door. But the crucial thing, however I wall it, is I actually don't want to trap somebody in here with me. Why?
Because you're going to have to probably burn like ice block or something
Correct.
to like
Again, is this a
survive. So they
1v1?
can
No.
wrap around and kill you.
Is this
Yeah.
even a 2v1? No, this is like a 3v1, 4v1, right? And my number one priority is I need to live. And so that's where a lot of people
Yeah.
get wall screwed up, right? They only think about splits. Sometimes if you're getting a lot of attention, the best thing you can do with wall is use it like a shield. Block off the enemy team sidelines. So right now, I'm not near as smart as you were there. I wasn't quick enough to do that vertical wall, right? But my job here is not to split the BAP off. My job is to make sure I don't want the BAP in here with me because he's going to lamp, they're going to break wall, and then they're going to force my ice block and they're going to kill me. So I wall here. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait. Now look at the enemy team's attention. I got really lucky here with the infra sight because I can see their heads. Where do you see the enemy team's attention going now?
Oh, back to main.
Back to main, right? Even some of the positions, right? The Bastion went up, the Bastion's gone back down. The Junker Queen's gone back down. BAP's gone back down. So look what I do instead now. Now I'm going, okay, your attention's turned away. I'm going to play with you. Now, if you push me, I think I can handle this because I know my Winston's taking space.
Your team is going in, right?
My team's going in. The Bastion, like I said, has dropped back down again. So I'm not so certain that this BAP is going to get any help anymore. And spoiler alert, he's not. Cassidy dies to a headshot. That's a nade from my Ana. And now I'm just finishing everybody off from the angle because it's synchronized with my team. Even the Junker Queen throwing knife at me, it's not scary because she can't possibly focus me down. So basically what I did is I took an angle, and the only thing that I did really well, I had a couple of lucky shots. Like that's not something I'm gonna do every time. But the main thing that I wanna highlight here is that like I was extremely attentive to the enemy team's attention and resources. And that's why we're able to cap this. If I'm not attentive to those resources, we're gonna lose this fight, right? I'm gonna get my ice block force, I'm gonna die. That's what I'm aiming for with lane theory, right? Is you take a lane that makes sense for me. You're quick on the fly to respond to how many resources am I getting. That's how I'm using my wall. That's how I'm using my ice block. And then that's going to change so quickly. Like you saw how quickly it went from being, oh my gosh, everybody's after me, to Bastion drops, Cassie's dropped, Junker Queen's looking away. Now nobody's looking at me. It literally went to a 3v1 to a 0v1, right? Immediately. So that's kind of what I want you to be doing here. And that's something that applies to MOBA, right? Is you take your lane and you respond immediately to the amount of attention you're getting. You know, whether you want to call that lane theory, if you want to call that the Kevster principle, I don't really care. You call it whatever you want, but that's what we're looking for with Mei. And the reason it's so important with Mei is like very immobile compared to like a Tracer, but she has like so many cooldowns to hold attention for long periods of time. So actually the similarities between Tracer and Mei are more than you think.
Yeah.
So
I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. If I just quickly add, I think that was actually the first thing I noticed was I was a lot better at like keeping track of like when and where like I need to live essentially.
Yeah, it's really important.
It's a lot more obvious on Tracer sometimes where it's obvious that I'm getting the support attention. But I think the part I was missing was definitely like the dragging attention, that very like specific nuance way.
Yes. So kind of like, let's look at what's happening here. So if we look at lane theory here, you've got your lane 1, you've got your lane 2, and you've got your lane 3. Now that's kind of a simplistic way of looking at it. You could go with your team here and turn your lane 1 all the way to here, and then this would be lane 2. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? So unlike MOBAs, it's not as static. The lanes rotate with your team. The maps are often very circular. So what ends up happening here is you're going to go off to the left here, but I actually don't like your space control right now. It's not that you always have to be hard flanking necessarily, but do you see how you're not really in a position to manage attention or resources? So you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get a wall here and cut off the sight lines here, I assume, right? And that's a good wall. But the funny thing is you could actually have split as soon as you see your tank going here. You split here, you start poking here, you rotate to here, you hold attention here on this corner. Now you might be thinking, I'm going to be isolated. Maybe, but that's what Mei's all about. Mei is about, this might be a situation where instead of walling here, you bait Hazard, you wall yourself so Hazard can't go for you. You drop wall, you freeze, you shoot, then you ice block. At that point in time, you've taken 1, support resources, 2, maybe you get some fray attention, 3, right? You've held that attention so long, you've allowed your team to walk out of the choke for free while still getting your wall value.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because the idea definitely crossed my head. I just thought I would just
Yeah.
die to hazard 100%. There's like no
Right,
shot.
right. But the question is can you die to hazard plus support resources slowly and at a crucial time for your team? And the answer should be yes. Should be.
Okay.
Because alternatively,
So
you're not helped. You feel like it's difficult for you to control space here. It is. It's very difficult, right?
Yeah. That's
Now, if you were
what I was feeling.
if you were Tracer, you would be immediately able to deep into your angle here, and this wouldn't be bad with Mei. But there's going to always be a bias with Mei towards going to the first angle that you're able to take because you're too slow. You can't get to this angle fast, so that's why I preferred this one. You're flexible. That's good. You can poke, you can get up close, you can do both, but you're not fast, so you can't change your angle very quickly here. So there's no real time for you to rotate left, which is why it was so important for you to take the right angle available. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I would even go as far to say you should wall out here just to get your team out of the choke, just to create that split, to cut off resources. Because right now, this is tough.
Yeah.
Don't greed your wall. Don't look for the perfect wall. Look for a split on anybody to cut them off for 1, 2, even 3 seconds and get out, right? On it being here is great, but even if it was just Kiri Genji, make them wall climb up over the wall. That's dangerous for them. They don't really want to do that. Just create space. It's the #1 thing you can do with your wall. Where should your wall be? You know?
In front of the Freya.
In front of the Freya, in front of the Kiriko. Did they have abilities to get over it? Yeah, absolutely. Make them use those abilities. Right? Don't greed your wall. You're not going to get much better than that.
When do I go for it? Oh, I waited way too long.
You waited way too long, right? So what ends up happening is like it ends up that the Freya, to be honest with you, and the Kiriko and the Ana, like these guys are positioned really poorly. Like they're doing a really bad job controlling space, but that's not always going to happen, right? You get very fortunate, and then other times they're going to control space, and then you're going to die. So don't assume the enemy team is going to make a mistake. It's a little early with the ice block, but sorry.
Yeah. I have like a deep fear of hazard.
I understand. I'm like the opposite. I'm like, I greed my ice block. I'd say I don't use it enough, basically. I die all the time because I'm trying to greed it. Good wall, again.
I still greed it sometimes, but...
Yeah. I would say probably just freeze, especially a tank at this range always. That comes a little bit less important once you get the slow perk, right? But for right now, just use your freeze.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you kind of came out a little
accidentally
early.
left too early.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Because this would be a situation where you stay in your ice block, you wall here, you kite back, you would have been fine. Okay. But yeah, initial rotation, big thing, big thing. Creating that space. Because you have that self-sufficiency, it's basically as good as mobility. Maybe...
I think I died here, yeah.
Yeah, well, no,
no,
you're good. Okay, yeah, you're good. A little lucky. But yeah, see, this is crucial. So now you have time. Now you have time to kind of evaluate the battlefield. Now, I knowing you're probably going to lean back into this angle again here. But you could start to think about, I'm going to sit here and listen. Maybe I'll go for a deeper angle here. Like, there just isn't a great wall here. Like, this isn't a King's Row second defense choke where you can just hold the angle on the corner and you don't need to get creative. There isn't really an amazing wall, so you might as well just look to open up angles in space wherever you'd like to. And because you have time, your lack of speed doesn't really matter that much. You get what I'm saying? So right now, this wall is fine. Yep. That's a really silly hazard ultimate. But you kind of see we're right back with our team again.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's a good shot.
I think I'm actually a bit too reliant on my Mei aim sometimes, I think. Where...
Yeah, could be. And even this, right? What's the purpose of when you're in this situation here? Where's your wall here?
I'm trying to wall between the Kiri and the hazard.
Correct. But you ready for a spicy take? You could just wall in front of the hazard and walk away from it and find something else to shoot.
Well, couldn't he just climb up and
yeah,
like, the Kiri
he could. He could. Yeah, you're just more of an inconvenience, you know. My point being is like right now your team is actually pushing angles and doing things. You recognize a 2v1, make it a 0v2 or 0v1. Remove them from the fight for a full 2 seconds. Right. If there was nobody here, there'd be no real point walling it. But there's 2 resources. Lane theory, right? If I can make sure that I don't get my ice block forced and I don't die here, I know my team will kill something over here. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of like immediately you go, oh, 2 people? I need to live. I need to live. Because like even what you're doing here, it's like this is honestly a little too aggressive, right? You get a bubble, which helps out obviously, and you're probably fine. But that bubble could have gone on your Juno, right? That attention could have gone elsewhere. Your Zarya could not have been bubbling you. She could have been shooting something. You get what I'm saying? So it's immediately taking an angle, recognizing 1v1, 2v1, whatever, and then responding accordingly with your cooldowns.
Okay.
Okay. So this is where you got to be decisive. You have to be decisive. I think your problem here, your priority here, should be on this space here for right now, and this space here. The reason why that's the case is, as it is with Tracer, as it is with Genji, it's because of where you are right now. Do you see what I'm saying? If you had rotated split from your team and been here, then this would have been your priority, right?
Okay.
Tank is not your priority. Tank will sometimes be something that you have an easy wall off of based off of the angle that you chose early. But if this is where you're at, this is your responsibility. You are very good at dealing with these characters. Genji, difficult. Ana, easy wall, easy headshots, right? Kiriko, easy 2-tap, right? It's your attention right now that's the problem. This is good. Yes, 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 yes. Now what's next? Do you hear what's behind you, right? They're right there. Yeah. This is your responsibility. Now let's apply some MOBA logic. This is a 2v1. What should you do with your wall? Put your attention here. What do you do with your wall? Wall them off, correct. Don't split them. Don't push them. Wall them off. And then you can walk away, but walk away with the intention of like, okay, where are they? Are they coming? Are they pushing me? Where? You get what I'm saying? Your attention's still on them, even as you're respecting them with your wall.
Yeah, essentially I'm buying my team like a
yes,
3v5.
Yes,
like
yes, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. I respect the crap out of your shots. Great shot, congratulations. Maybe you think you can win this 1v1, but you haven't heard Sleep Dart, you haven't heard Nade, you haven't heard Dash, you haven't heard Deflect. It's not that you can't take a 2v1, but you need a good reason to take it, right? Like, oh, I've heard Sleep, I've heard Nade, she's won, I could beat this, right? So you have no information onto this 2v1, and yet you're acting as if you have an advantage here. You don't. You don't.
Right.
Right? Yeah. So this is a mistake, right? So this is like, it's the same thing as a Deadlock, right? I mean, how many times have I taken 2v1s? I've won 4v1s in Deadlock, right? Because my matchmaking really bad, early on was really bad, right? But it's because I knew I had my ult, or I had this, or I had that, right? And I knew what they didn't have. This is just, to be honest with you, like you said, it's you being carried by your mechanics, right? So I congratulate you on your shots. Well done, congratulations. But that is a bad decision. Don't do that. Unless you have information, you know?
Okay, yeah, because I think I started picking up like a bad habit of not contesting flank. I think after a few games where it just doesn't work out. But also, like in my head, it's a similar situation where if they're like struggling to get to me, it means like they're still effectively doing nothing for that time period. But yeah. Dude,
I'm so tempted. I'm gonna self-promo myself one more time. I'm not gonna make you watch it during your review. Go back to my stream, the same stream from 2 days ago, and watch my overtime Kings Row defense. Just my overtime Kings Row defense. You're much better than I am mechanically. Watch how I manage my attention there. It's just very relevant to what we're talking about. So just the overtime defense, though. Nothing otherwise embarrassing. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine because you have help, right? So this is a 3v2. Yeah, your team's a little split, right? Oh, here's a really spicy one here too. You ready for this one? What should you do here if you're quick enough? Yeah. You can't take this. You can't take this duel with Freya. Why?
Because I have like no ice block.
Right. So it's not. You're right. All we're talking about is resources. If this was, if you were full HP, sure, right? But it's not about like, oh, it's 2v1s you can't take. Maybe you can take a 2v1 if they have nothing and you have a lot of things. But this is a 1v1 where you're missing half your HP. So no, of course not.
Yeah, I think
it's all resources.
It's probably just an awareness issue. Yeah.
Yeah. That might be a separate issue, but it's worth highlighting. Okay, let's keep going here. So control your lane, depending on the amount of resources that you have versus the amount of resources the enemy team has. You behave accordingly. It's a good wall, because now what's happening? see
Hazard
it?
is falling down,
Yeah, Hazard's
and the
isolated.
Genji's about to ult.
You're right. Now the Genji
And
Blade's very lucky, right? But the most important thing is that you recognize that your Zarya was getting run over, and you could isolate Hazard with this. And so now, are they going to be able to get through this wall? Yes, eventually. But it's an inconvenience, and an inconvenience is great. I actually don't mind that Blizzard either. Yeah, I don't mind that Blizzard.
Yeah, I think it works out so well because I think a lot more proactive with like, I know they want to take a fight here at this timing, which is.
You talking about the wall, the
with
Blizzard, or
everybody,
both?
Both. Like, I was basically looking for the Genji to ult, and I just wanted to like.
Yeah. I mean, the key with Blizzard is just dropping it in a space that the enemy team wants to go most of the time, rather than trying to catch targets, just because then it makes it like, okay, I don't freeze anybody, but at least I got something out of it. Like, clearly the Genji Hazard want to walk forward, and now they can't, right? So even without the Graviton Surge, that Blizzard would have been effective. This is another one of those moments, though, where, like, yeah, it's the shots are kind of sucky here, but if you get the opportunity here, I mean, I don't know. This is me being nitpicky. You needed to hit the shot here. Prior is hitting the shot. Never mind.
Yeah, I greeted this way too hard, and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna die.
I don't think it was agreed. You should have hit the shot. I mean, you literally could have body shot her, right? Right. I don't think that was. I mean, it didn't work out, but I think this was fine. But yeah, this is a correct wall because now your lane is 3 people. So wall, run away, and not into the poster board there. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Okay. This is fine. Obviously, it's a pretty deep angle, so you need to hurry. I think maybe, if anything, that's my problem here is there's a little bit of a lack of urgency. Yep, this is fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. Because any attention they give you, there's sleep dart. I don't think I would rotate back. I'm not saying that you have to flank with Mei, but you have made your decision. You must stick with this decision. So what you should do is what? So let's say that we're leaning on this angle here. I'm going to force you to play this angle. How do you play this angle? What are you paying attention to?
I just run it down on the Ana.
Well, see, that's where you got to be careful, right? Because what do you not know? What information do you not have?
Sleep and nade.
Right. So no. Well, you've seen sleep. You've seen sleep, but that's not what I'm fishing for. Who else is with the Ana right now?
Yeah,
you don't. Well, the key thing is you don't know.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you don't know. So I want you to walk forward here and go, oh, I'm going to get isolated by Hazard. Maybe. If your team is here, it's still okay. But you need to make sure that it's just Ana. So you're going to walk, and you're going to poke, and you're going to listen. And then you're going to see Ana and Kree turning around, and then you're going to wall in front of them and hide. You get what I'm saying? And then you're going to drop wall, and you're going to poke. It's like that Dorado or Route 66 example I was giving you with me on Mei. It's the exact same situation here. Respond very quickly to the amount of attention that they give you. Right?
Right, I see. This is like where it's similar to Tracer.
It is. It's exact same as Tracer. The difference is that you're very slow, but you can. The upside is that you, like Tracer, have a lot of sustain. The advantage of Mei versus Tracer is the fact that you can actually apply lethal pressure outside of 15 meters.
Yeah.
So you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's also the issue. Part of it, the issue is like my Tracer brain is telling me that just like in the same way I would just blink to dodge the flash. I'll be like, I could just press shift to dodge the flash.
Yeah, right. That's not always bad if you're guaranteed of support, but oftentimes it's better to just play your range. I mean, especially versus most. I mean, really everything with maybe the exception of Freya. I'm not saying don't get up and close and dirty if they're down cooldowns, but your advantage versus Ana is your ability to shoot them down. Same thing that goes with Cass, right? There's your advantage is your poke, your no fall off, the slow for crying out loud on your hold fire, which just allows you to hit your next shot. So wall, should have walled that. Could have walled that.
I wanted to, but then the Hazard just finds the thing. I'm like, okay, this.
Yeah. But you're not walling to just keep him trapped. You're walling to stop the Freya from shooting and the Kiriko from healing. Do you see what I'm saying? So even if he wall climbs out, okay, that's fine. That's a 2 or 3 seconds inconvenience. There's no pressure from Freya. There's no healing from Kiriko. And that might even allow you to walk a little bit further forward. Well, you're right. Hazard wall walks around your walls, but make him do that. It's either that or go on the angle and use your walls in a more self-sufficient, self-sustaining kind of way. You get what I'm saying?
I don't know if I'm being like nitpicky about this, but like
please, no,
in my head, like I wall him off here, and then he climbs up the wall to the side. The the um the Kiriko can still in theory heal him, so it doesn't cut off the healing. At best, this will just like remove the Freya sideline on me.
Yeah.
But since I have ice block, and I can just press like D to walk to like my right, it means like I don't have to.
Sure.
Like I can just walk to cover instead of using my wall here for like.
Yes,
not that much value.
but you want to shoot people, don't you? You get what I'm saying? If you have to use cover here because the Freya is shooting you, why don't you wall in front of the Freya so that you don't have to use cover and that you can continue shooting the hazard? You get what I'm saying? My point being is that it's allowing you to continue to pressure safely without being shot. Because if you look what happens when you don't wall, watch your body language. You have to tuck in here. Now, obviously, part of that's because you accidentally walked into the shots, but if you'd walled here, you could have just sat here and kept shooting and been fine. So my point being is that you're right. There is definitely some nuance. I'm not saying wall brainlessly behind anything that you see, but we have seen a habit from you, definitely, to where you're a little hesitant to wall, even going as far to use it 15, 20, 25 seconds into the fight, right? You need to keep an eye on that habit.
Right, I remember this as well, actually. I think I wanted to catch the Freya ult with my wall, but then I'm just like, I just don't know what to...
Yeah. I mean, that happens. I understand. But obviously, at this point in time, there's too much attention, too much crap going on. Okay. Like, you can even wall this. You look at this and you're like, oh, he's just going to get out. Yeah, but you're going to freaking make him pee his pants, right? And you're going to be able to walk up really aggressively because of that, right?
Yeah.
Something to consider. I think you're at a point in time where... Okay, so where's your lane here?
I don't... Oh, to the left. I see.
It's to the left. Now you're like, oh, it's isolated. Yep, that's what May's great at. May's really good at this. If you use your wall defensively, you land an icicle, use your ice block, especially once you start getting your perks. Your perks are really strong. You can live here and win this 1v1, and then if he gets help, you can live again, right? But you're going to create more space through this. This might be a defensive wall to bait his fan or hinder, then hit an icicle, make him walk back, make him get healing, squeeze forward, pull resources out of this choke. Why?
Yeah.
Because that's the lane that you started on, so you have to go. There isn't really another lane here. I mean, you could go, all the way over here, but that's not happening, right? Now you've leaned here, so now where's your lane?
To the right.
Correct. So what you would do is you'd wall in front of the Cassidy, potentially, just to cut him off, or wall behind the hazard, just to give yourself a resource trade. Right, again, you know he's going to climb over it, make him do it. Take every wall that you use in this hazard, it's another 200, 250 HP to him. You get what I'm saying? So use the wall, or rotate and use the wall for yourself to bait resources, and so on. Use your self-sufficiency. Kind of. I mean, he definitely wanted to push in here, so you're playing, like, you're looking at this and cut. This wall's okay. I'm more annoyed that you didn't get here sooner, right? But yeah, this is not bad.
No, I messed up the wall I meant to cut the...
Yeah, I got you. I got you. But here's another thing. Here's another thing to consider. You ready for this? Do not leave this room. Do not leave this room. If you leave this room, you die. Why?
Because we lose control of the space.
You lose control of space, correct. And you walk into damage. Correct, you walk into damage. Your job here is to live, bait, maybe even fall further onto the flank. If they ignore you, kill them. If they push you, you are allowing your team to walk safely out. And you will be able to hold that attention for at least 7-8 seconds, at least. This is more dangerous. You should die for this and or get your ice block force, and there it is, right? So you look at the kill feed, and you look at your ice block right now, and that is the worst of both worlds. Not only did you not pull attention away from your team, but you also got your ice block force at the same time. You abandoned your lane back towards your team, allowing for a pincer push. I am not a MOBA expert, so I don't know when is it best a 3-lane, 4-lane, 5-man lane. I'm sure there's lots of opportunities when that's actually good. In Overwatch, it's almost never good because the key difference between a MOBA and a hero shooter is that in a hero shooter, the lanes can see the other lanes very closely. So when you're in one lane, you can immediately leverage that lane and shoot the other person in the other lane. So when Winter gets this angle for free, when Kiri gets this angle for free, when Cass has been uncontested from this lane this entire fight, your team's going to suffer for that.
Right. I think I'm just way too scared of getting isolated, I guess. Like,
Right, and that's something that you cannot be scared of, because Mei has one of the best kits for being isolated and keeping herself alive.
Right.
You got to be very careful about your timing, because you can't run away. So once you make your investment, you're stuck with it. But you're also, the way Overwatch is balanced is that slower characters are always given more sustain, because those characters have to make their bed and lie in it. Whereas a Tracer, Genji can always rotate away. Mei can't. But Mei has a full heal. Mei has an ice wall. Mei has 300 HP. Mei is one of the best 1v1 kits in the entire game. I mean, look at your perks, right? On a side note, because of those perks, that's kind of why I like your ice block perk, the one that freezes around you. It's really, really good. Yeah, it's really good for that, because that means anybody that contests you in this room gets hurt a lot. Even if it's just 70 damage, just 1 second of that is really, really difficult to deal with. But I think both major perks are situationally okay. You chose the right minor perk. That's the most important one. Where's your lane, you know? Right?
But to the side.
Yeah, to the side. If you'd been faster, maybe you could have gotten to like here and poked and rotated here and pushed the Freya out and then controlled here and then walled across here. You're not fast, so you have to start here. But that means you go to here. You can wall here. Heck, you can hard flank here, bait their attention, wall here once they look at you, and then drop that wall and sneak up behind and then ice block. And then you're like, oh, but I'm isolated. Yep. But that hazard's dead. You get me?
Yeah.
You are, exactly as you said, relying off of your aim. And notice what happens when you don't control a lane. It's not so easy as walling off the hazard, because he walls you off. Right?
Yeah, I'm like trying to help my Zarya here, and I just like... Oh,
yeah, the way to help Zarya is to take not necessarily a hard flank all the time, but at least to take a soft angle where you have better vision for wall. Your Zarya's dead.
Yeah, I think there's actually a point where I get tilted, and then I saw hard flanking.
Yeah.
But
I mean, good.
That was the right play.
It was the right play. It was the right play given the map. Yeah. It's all about the lanes. How deep you push the lane is up to you. Like right now, you could just wall here and then rotate to here and poke the hazard. You could walk in here and wall him off and pressure him from this angle here. Whatever you want to do. You're being so greedy with your wall. It's crazy. Like, I turn this corner here and I see this split here. My goodness gracious, Merry Christmas. You're not gonna be able to kill hazard, but you're gonna be able to take so much of his HP off just off of this wall. You get what I'm saying? Use it. I mean, this is like the perfect wall for you, right? You see it? Again, it's like you're looking for it, but it's just too late. It's just too late.
Yeah, I think that's like a running theme. I'm like, I feel like I'm looking for the thing, but I just don't have a chance to use it properly.
Yeah, let's look at this wall here. Yeah, this wall's fine. It's gonna get you guys out. Like, otherwise, if there's out this wall, I don't think you guys get out. Your Moira might be able to live this wall. Yeah, that's good. Good shots, good stuff. Nicely done. Good lane. Lean right. Yeah. See, this is so good. This is so good. We're pulling attention off to the side. You are built for this kind of crap, right? You're built for this. Yeah. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Fun fact, your primary fire with the perk here freezes faster into the ultimate. Like, you already knew primary fire freezes faster, but it freezes even faster with this perk. And you ready for another fun one? The ice block perk also freezes them in the ult faster.
Oh, really? Wait, I'm using that one next time.
Yep. Well, they're both good, but yeah, I think in this situation with the way you're probably going to be playing, yeah, the ice block one is great. So if you catch anybody with the ice block in Blizzard, they almost freeze instantly. But yeah, nice job. Really good. Little bit of the right lane there, and then you caught the hazard with the wall, and then you got him with the Blizzard. That's beautiful. Yes. Get in there. Where the frick she go?
She TP'd out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. For a second, I thought it was Freya, and I'm like, wait, how'd you do that? All right, your choice of lane. You could be sneaky here and just hide, and I'd probably hide here to create a little bit of space, kind of hold this corner here and don't do any poke and then catch anybody here. Your other alternative is somewhere like here or here, and then you can kind of back off and then hold this lane here. I probably prefer this one just because I really like poking. This seems like a really busted sightline for you, but honestly, either one works. But it's going to be really important that as you disengage towards your team here, that you lean towards either side so that you don't get pushed, because you know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to come here. It's your responsibility. Or somebody's going to come here, or they're not going to come here, and you could have leveraged this to off-angle them. You need to control that space. Because there it is. Literally, look what's happening, right? This is your responsibility, right? Or this is your responsibility. You're not controlling any space.
Yeah, I like distinctly remember, like, do I wall up here to contest the high ground? Like,
You
I
do.
just lose my wall. Like,
yeah,
then, like,
yeah, it's worth.
I choose wrong.
It's
but
worth.
I should be.
Right. Now, the key thing here is if you'd been there to start, you wouldn't have to burn your wall, but I do think it's worth using your cooldown to help control the space. You would not win. Remember, this is the MOBA thing. So you're going to get here with your wall. You're going to go, oh, shoot. You know, and then you're going to have to ice block yourself. That's great. Totally fine. Your team will help you. Your team will help you out. They'll bubble you. They'll do whatever it needs to take to help you get out here. But you're going to stop this from immediately being effective, right? Your team needs you there to help control that space. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, see, your Zarya is marking the flank, which is fine. But now you're not controlling any space at all. You're not even pressuring here anymore. You're not pressuring here anymore. Look at this team's off-angle control. Ana on main with Freya on main. Kiri, Zarya, or Kiri, Cassidy, and then Hazard on the deep flank. I think you guys are kind of cooked.
Yeah.
Good wall. It's a good wall.
Like, I'm fighting for my support lives here, but
Yeah.
it's barely worked
I
out.
don't know how your Zarya gets away with that. Your Zarya kills 2. Which this was always going to happen, but I don't know what their Kiriko does.
Oh, she right clicks.
Oh, she just greeds. She greeds it so much. My goodness gracious. She doesn't teleport away because she thinks she can get it. But yeah, if she gets out again, you guys have lost this fight 100%. And that's despite the massive ult bank that you guys have. I mean, guys, you might... Ooh, yoy. Okay, good stuff.
Like, all making sense now, because I think the games where I'm doing that better are the games where, like, I'm doing much better on.
Yep. I mean, once again, we're kind of doing the same thing, but this time we don't have the ult thing for it. I mean, look at their Freya, right? The Freya comes in from the side. She's caught you. They have pressure on main. You have no way of disengaging because you're stuck on main. You can't disengage this way. You can't wrap around this way. You're just on your own.
Yeah.
Yep. Gotta control lanes. Gotta control lanes. When I was working with Backbone and London Spitfire, right, and we were playing versus hard dive comps, right, with May, this is all we talked about. All we talked about was this in wall usage, right, and finding ways to get Blizzard use into, like, primal Genji comps, right? Like, that's all we talked about. Like, what lane can you control? Do you need Lucio help? Do you don't need Lucio help? How many people are on you? Can you live? You know, and a lot of fights were won using aim. So, like, when you put yourself on these lanes, it's not that your mechanics are not important. They are. In fact, this kind of stuff is how you get full value out of your mechanics, right? Like, your problem here is that you laned where your team isn't laning. You get what I'm saying? This is a split that we don't like, right? So where is your team fighting right now? Do you see the problem here?
Yeah.
Now, I don't think you intended to get slept. That's the most unlucky thing, right? That happens, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is why if we were teams holding here, I want you laning like here, right? Or laning like here, right? Or laning like here. You get what I'm saying? Something that's playing more around where your team is fighting.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest here, that's a lot of resources. And you could have lived all of that. I don't mind the Blizzard, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, somehow the Blizzard, like, saves.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is like,
yeah.
your angle sucked, but at least you took an angle, you know? So everybody in the enemy team jumps on you, but you get every resource from your team, and then the enemy team just kind of, like, falls over. So you were controlling space. You were doing a horrible job of it, but at least you were controlling space, you know? You know? I got to credit where credit is due, you know? You had a bit of an angle there. It was just not very well strategized. So that's like you were saying, that tilt, you know? Weaponize your tilt, I guess.
Yeah, because, like, when I was tilted, I'm just thinking, like, you know, like, why am I trying to play the team fight, like, trying to manage, like, space and timing, whatever? I'm just gonna, I feel like I'm not getting a lot done, so I'm just gonna flank it.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. I call that the American Tornado strategy back in the day with Contenders, 2020. It was like this team of just random kids that were, like, really good mechanically, and they had good macro because they would just always flank, you know? So it was like, you know, they accidentally taught themselves how to play dive. This is the same problem. Like, why are we here? You know, like you got to be here. You got to be, you know, here. This is what makes Mei really fun, is because there isn't generally a bad angle with Mei, because you have that perfect hybrid of range and brawl. You know, so you can really be anywhere you want. Just not there. You know, come. Like either lane here is fine. Sure. Definitely tell the fear here, you know. Like right now, do you want to lean here and contest cast Kiriko? You absolutely can take that 2v1. You can't kill them, but you can take it, right? That's like the Tracer-esque aspect. The other Tracer-esque aspect is if you got your butt cheeks in gear like 3 or 4 seconds ago, maybe. Maybe you could be here. You can absolutely take this angle, right? Absolutely. Poke, 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 wall, poke, 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 poke. You can. Your choice. Yeah. Oh, that was a snipe of a grab. Okay. Okay, don't care. You guys are gonna win this. Let's finish this off here. Okay, so let's see. So this is it, right? This is your lane here. This is Merry Christmas to you, because this 1v1 is really favorable for you, I think. So not only is this lane like the one that you're on right now, but it's also a 1v1 where like your wall's really good, your icicles are really good. There's nothing that she can really do to burst you down. You have your cleanse. You're just not really going to lose this 1v1 most of the time. So for crying out loud, dunk on her, you know? Get to here, get in her face, go to here, force her to herd inside of her team, and then take this angle and shoot her team, and then wall them off if they all look at you, right? Go. Yeah. This is good. This is how you could even wall in front of them now, just to allow yourself to rotate closer and to waste their time. You get what I'm saying? Because if you wall in front of them, you've taken their attention and not allowed them to do anything with it, right? The problem here is that you don't use your wall, because you're not the type of guy to think that this is a good wall. We've already seen that, right? You're like, oh, it's a waste of a wall. No, it's a great wall, right? And then you ice block here, but then you cancel it to go get Juno ult. I think you should probably hold this lane. I think you should probably hold this lane, you know? Because look
my brain was...
You see, we knew this was going to happen, right? We knew this was going to happen. Go ahead.
I just wanted to... I think I was more concerned about the fact that the fight's happening and I have Blizzard. And in theory, Blizzard is really strong just if I just like dump it on point.
Right. In theory, but on what? Where? On who?
Yeah.
You know, look at where you are. You've made your bed. You've decided on this lane. This is a very open point, so there's not really going to be an immediate Blizzard option anyway. So you're going to run away to go find a Blizzard. You're going to give the Freya that angle. You're going to get pincered by the very same Freya that you should be looking at. Now, to give you credit, you see nobody to Blizzard. Shocker, right? And you do turn around and you deal with that angle again. I want to give you some credit for this. This is good. This is what you're good at.
Actually, I was thinking this was bad when I was doing it originally.
No, this is good. It's bad mechanics, but it's good shots. Because if you think about, oh, well, I could have been doing more earlier. What would you have been doing? Let's go back and look.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing, right? Nothing. Walking to here and dying in, like your cast, like nothing. And by the way, she would have been doing a lot. You know it, right? You know it. So this is one of those moments where I'm going to say something really rare. Hit your shots, buddy. You grabbed Mini. You have wall. You have ice block. You hit one shot on her. She should lose this duel at this range. She should lose this duel. She should lose this duel. You just messed up. You messed up. So it's easy to go, oh, you know, I had Blizzard. What am I doing? Well, you were there. You were getting shot in the back of the head. You have to deal with that. You have to deal with that. Just hit your shots next time. And as you can see, even if you had gone with your team, it wouldn't have mattered. You would have lost even harder. Okay, where's your angle here? Where's your lane?
To the left.
You could, but I think to the left is too late, though. This is too naked. You see what I'm saying? That should have been a decision you made earlier. You get what I'm saying? So actually, here, wall here, go right. This would have been fine.
Okay.
Why? Because that's where you already are right now, so it's easy for you. You don't have Tracer Blinks, so you need to go. I don't hate this. I mean, you're trying to control a lane here. Hey, did you see how it's a little bit more awkward when you approach it from this area? Because it's more naked, more exposed.
Yeah.
This is okay. But you can even stay here. You can even stay here. Now, if you're going to go with your... You can wall that. Don't play games. Just wall it. Wall it and or rotate, you know? Okay. Can wall that too. Can wall that too.
Can
Just
wall
wall.
it.
Just wall. Yeah, just wall right here. Just inconvenience them. Don't worry about it. Just inconvenience them. There it is.
I walled it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little unlucky. He jumps out. Cassie's already on the way out. And it's also not important space because they're not even controlling that space at all. But I want to do something very depressing. I'm going to open up the map, and you're going to see the space control the enemy team has. Ouch.
Yeah.
And look at you, and look at you, right? You're literally surrounded. They've got a Freya, Kiriko pocket taking the 1v2 over here. Your Freya doesn't have the resources to survive that mobile lane. You have a 1v2, 2v2 kind of happening over here. I'm not confident that this is going to go that well. And then you kind of aren't really controlling anything outside of applying point pressure, which is not always bad, but you're just surrounded, essentially. And then they're able to disengage all the 2v1s. Your team is not. This is lost.
Yeah, it's completely lost.
That's it. Okay. Give me 1 second on the next session's just finishing up. You got 5. Okay. What needs to be practiced? How would you frame it as simply and as replicable as you possibly can? As in, you can do it in any game, any situation. What needs to be practiced?
My intuition that, like, my positioning and wall usage for very off, I think was right. So I'll phrase it as take space on off. Oh fuck, sorry.
It's fine.
Take space on off angles.
Sure.
And look for inconveniencing walls.
Yes. Crucially, which off angles do you look for? Which lanes do you look for? It's kind of a trick question.
Lanes that they want to take, or ones that give you access into like a really annoying off angle on the supports.
Sure. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go even simpler than that. It doesn't matter. Almost doesn't matter. If I'm playing into snipers, I'm probably going to be playing in small rooms. If I'm playing into Tracer Genji, I'm probably going to be playing a little bit more open space so I can poke them down a little bit. But remember, you're playing Mei. She's very dynamic. She can take duels at most ranges as long as she's playing her resources correctly. You understand what I'm saying? So don't complicate it with macro strategy terminology. Say, where are we fighting? I'm going to take a lane that I feel is good. The only detail that's important about Mei is that you can't second guess yourself because you're too slow to change your positioning. Yeah. So wherever you choose, you kind of have to stick with that. Okay. Then once you're there, there's a lot of people. There's not a lot of people. That depends on how you use your wall, now your ice block, right? There's a lot of people, wall yourself. Not a lot of people, wall them off, right? Yeah. That's basically it. And then in terms of the specifics of your wall, as you were saying, just use your wall. Inconvenience, split, cuts, bait attention, block off resources. I think the key thing with your wall, if I could be really, really cavemanish, is use wall more. That's it. Just use wall more. That's going to be a short-term solution towards your long-term growth because I think you're so reticent to use wall that you're not actually limit testing the cool things that you can do with wall. You're being too greedy, and so you're not learning enough about how to use wall, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking about it too much, which is really odd.
Yes.
But yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. I want you to be thinking about it, but then the first decent value that you get, use it, and then evaluate it later, right? Or maybe go back in VOD and be like, okay, actually, I went for the first available wall, but if I'd waited 2 seconds, I should have known that a better wall was coming. But I think in the meantime, we can push it a little bit. Like first available wall, use it. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there was that thing you mentioned with also, what was it, like the walls I thought were bad. I think that was just the inconveniencing part. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Any questions?
So I thought I forgot that.
No, it's okay.
I don't think I have any strong questions. I think I was just like, I guess I was just really annoyed that, why I thought certain things weren't working because I guess the thought crossed my head, and then I chose wrong. But then because I took it into consideration, it doesn't cross my mind that that was actually the right thing to do.
Correct. The point being here is like maybe the best thing to sum it up is that your fundamentals of Tracer are going to have heavy influence on how you play Mei. They're not that different. They're very different mechanically in how they operate, but actually how you control space. You have sustain instead of speed, but the way that you're controlling space, the way that you're manipulating attention, oh, I'm distracting two people, I need to live. It's the same thing. Same thing.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. Yep.